What I am going to tell you is Judge Frank Caprio's most emotionally devastating case, which moved the entire court to tears and transformed everyone's perception of bravery. A 10-year-old girl named Sofia Ramirez appears before the judge to argue her family's unsettled traffic tickets. However, when Judge Caprio learns the reason this courageous young girl is representing her parents, his reaction turns into the most profoundly beautiful act of kindness you will ever see. I must caution you, Sofia's account will deeply sadden you. Yet Judge Caprio's extraordinary response will renew your belief in human goodness and demonstrate what authentic justice appears as when it is directed by love. When this dauntless child confronts the United States legal framework to shield her family, the subsequent events become permanently etched in memory. But before I recount this transformative story, please click that subscribe button because this narrative of bravery and empathy merits being seen by all. And I wonder, from where are you viewing this currently? Are you on your mobile during your lunch hour, watching on your computer at home, or perhaps listening while you drive? Have you ever witnessed a child display greater bravery than most grown adults? Leave a comment below and inform me of your city and your viewing method, because Sofia's courage will motivate individuals everywhere, whether you are in Chicago, Toronto, or any other location. This is not merely a legal proceeding. This is a tale concerning family devotion and love's capacity to conquer fear. The events in the coming half hour will reveal to you the appearance of genuine courage when facing the unknown. It is a calm Tuesday morning in March at Providence Municipal Court, and Judge Frank Caprio is examining his morning schedule when he observes an uncommon case that instantly seizes his focus. The Ramirez family's traffic offenses with outstanding penalties adding up to $420, with a remark stating the accused have minimal English proficiency. The court possesses its usual ambiance, defendants waiting anxiously for their hearings, lawyers organizing their documents, and court employees getting ready for another day under Judge Caprio's sympathetic guidance. Precisely at 10:45 in the morning, the bailiff announces the case. And what occurs next halts all activity. Rather than grown-ups coming to the defendant's table, a very small person comes forward. A 10-year-old girl with lengthy dark hair dressed in a neatly ironed school uniform holding a manila envelope tightly to her chest as though it holds the world's most valuable papers. Behind her, advancing uncertainly, are her mother and father, Maria and Carlos Ramirez. Maria, a woman in her 30s, remains near the wall as if attempting to disappear, while Carlos keeps his gaze lowered, both evidently frightened to be in this formal American courtroom. But it is Sofia who captures the attention of all present. In spite of her little size, she advances with resolve toward Judge Caprio's bench, her chin lifted with a bravery that appears unbelievable for someone of such a tender age. In her folder, she holds interpreted papers, meticulously arranged notes, and something even more crucial, the urgent wish to preserve her family unit. The Ramirez family is present because during the last year, Carlos has gathered several driving infractions while holding 2 occupations to sustain his household: lapsed registration, malfunctioning rear lamp, and parking tickets. Every ticket signifies another obstacle to their American aspiration, another monetary strain they can scarcely manage. And everyone, before I present this remarkable exhibition of youthful bravery, let me pose a question. Have you ever observed a child take charge when grown-ups were unable? Have you encountered a family like the Ramirez's? The court clerk states, reviewing his documents with a confused look as he notices the little girl come forward. Sofia proceeds assuredly to the front, while her parents stay several steps back. Clearly daunted by the formal American judicial process, they do not entirely grasp. Judge Caprio gazes down from his seat with those sympathetic eyes that have witnessed every form of human hardship. But the image of this resolute child pleading for her relatives creates a completely different kind of legal scene. Good morning, Judge Caprio says softly, his tone naturally gentler for the youthful attendee. What is your name, dear? My name is Sofia Elena Ramirez, Your Honor, she states clearly, her English flawless, despite the faint accent that suggests her family's background. I am here to represent my parents, Maria and Carlos Ramirez. Judge Caprio puts aside his documents entirely. Now his posture is one of total focus on this exceptional circumstance developing before him. Sofia, what is your age? I am 10 years old, Your Honor. I will turn 11 next month. The court becomes respectfully quiet. All those in attendance understand they are observing something never seen before. A child accepting duty for her family's legal issues with a composure that appears to exceed her youth. Sofia, can you explain why you are representing your parents today? Sofia inhales deeply, holding her folder more firmly. Your Honor, my mother and father, they labor very hard, but English is challenging for them. They fear they might speak incorrectly and create difficulties for our family. I learn English in school, and I comprehend more. So, Judge Caprio's face gentles further as he acknowledges the deep affection and duty this child has assumed. I understand. And you realize these are driving offenses your father obtained? Yes, Your Honor. My father works at the restaurant starting at 6, 0 inches the morning until 30 inches the afternoon, and afterward he cleans offices from 5 until midnight. The whole court observes in astonishment as this 10-year-old girl explains her situation with the completeness of a seasoned lawyer, arranging papers and describing her relatives' circumstances with precision and affection. Sofia, these arrangements you have completed are quite remarkable. Did anybody assist you in coordinating all of this? No, Your Honor. My instructor, Mrs. Johnson, she instructed me about being accountable and getting ready for significant matters. I remained after classes for 3 days to ensure all was flawless for my relatives. Judge Caprio looks toward Maria and Carlos, who are observing their child with a blend of admiration and worry, incapable of fully engaging but having complete faith in their daughter. And viewers, if you are already becoming emotional witnessing this courageous young girl stand up for her relatives, press that like button, because what Sofia discloses next regarding why her mother and father cannot speak for themselves will deeply move you and demonstrate the amazing sacrifices relatives make for love. Judge Caprio rises from his seat and moves around to the front, not with power this instance, but with the tender care of an individual who identifies exceptional bravery when he observes it. Sofia, I want you to realize that what you are doing for your relatives requires immense courage. Can you assist me in comprehending why your mother and father are so frightened to talk in court? Sofia gazes back at her parents, her eyes filling with affection and a protective instinct that appears remarkably grown up for her youth. Your Honor, my mother and father, they arrived in America to provide me and my younger sibling Miguel an improved existence. But they are very scared of officials because they believe if they utter something incorrect, we may need to depart. Judge Caprio bends down to Sofia's eye level, his tone growing even more soft. Sofia, are your mother and father here lawfully in America? The inquiry lingers in the courtroom atmosphere like a fragile butterfly, and Sofia's answer uncovers the burden this youngster has been bearing. Your Honor, my mother and father are laboring very diligently to correct their documentation. They have an attorney, Mr. Peterson, who is aiding them, but the procedure requires a lengthy period, and they are fearful that any difficulty, even minor difficulty, could damage their situation. Sofia reaches into her folder once more and takes out a professional card and multiple official appearing papers. Here is Mr. Peterson's card, and here are the documents indicating my parents are in the process of requesting for. She has difficulty with the legal phrase for asylum standing. They needed to leave our nation because it was unsafe for our relatives. Judge Caprio receives the papers with respectful hands, comprehending that this child is confiding in him with her relative's most valuable secret, their delicate immigration situation. Sofia, you mentioned it was unsafe in your nation. Can you explain to me what that implies? Sofia's voice grows softer, but more resolute. Your Honor, in our nation, my father observed wicked men commit wicked acts, and he informed the authorities. But the wicked men discovered, and they stated they would harm me and Miguel if my father did not cease. Sofia takes out one additional paper from her file, a school transcript showing all top marks and flawless attendance. Your Honor, while we wait, I attend school daily, and I work very diligently. My mother cleans homes through the day, and my father holds 2 positions. We pay our taxes and we obey every regulation. But sometimes the driving laws are complicated when you are exhausted from laboring so hard. Judge Caprio reviews Sofia's transcript, observing not merely scholastic achievement, but proof of a family struggling to create a decent life in America. Sofia, your marks are outstanding. What career do you wish to pursue when you become an adult? Sofia's expression brightens for the initial time during the hearing. I wish to be an attorney. Like Mr. Peterson, I wish to assist other families who arrive in America for protection. I want to ensure no other young girl must appear in court to speak for her mother and father because they are scared. The emotional effect of this declaration spreads across the courtroom as all present understand they are observing not simply bravery, but the emergence of a future defender of justice. And everyone, if you are not weeping by now, you possess a heart made of stone. Sofia's aspiration to be a lawyer to aid other immigrant families demonstrates the remarkable resilience that can emerge from hardship. Ensure you are subscribed, because what Judge Caprio does subsequently will renew your belief in the American dream. Judge Caprio pauses briefly to collect his thoughts, clearly touched by Sofia's statement and the burden of responsibility this family has put on their 10-year-old child's shoulders. When he speaks, his voice holds the understanding of 3 decades on the bench and the compassion of a person who identifies true dignity when he meets it. Sofia, I want you to turn and look at your mother and father. Sofia turns to see Maria and Carlos observing with worried affection their whole future depending in their daughter's small hands. Now, I want you to tell them in Spanish that they do not need to be frightened in my court. Tell them that Judge Caprio states they are welcomed here. Sofia's eyes open wide with astonishment and comfort. She turns to her parents and speaks quickly in Spanish. As her words get to them, Maria starts to weep quietly, and Carlos puts a sheltering hand on his daughter's shoulder. Judge Caprio speaks to the family directly, talking slowly and distinctly. Mr. and Mrs. Ramirez, please step forward. Uncertainly, still holding on to Sofia. The parents came near the bench. Sofia, please tell your mother and father that I comprehend why they came to America. Tell them that keeping your children safe from home is what any good parent would do. As Sofia interprets, both parents nod, tears running freely as they hear acknowledgement rather than dismissal from this American authority figure. Judge Caprio goes on, tell them that working 2 jobs, paying taxes, and bringing up a daughter who earns all top marks and wishes to be a lawyer. That is precisely the sort of family America requires. Judge Caprio goes back to his bench, but his attitude has totally changed from magistrate to guardian. Sofia, I am not simply dropping these traffic tickets. I am going to take an action I have never taken previously. He takes his phone directly there in open court. Mr. Peterson, this is Judge Frank Caprio. I have the Ramirez family in my courtroom, and I wish to personally endorse their asylum request. This family embodies all that is positive about immigration to America. Sofia, I want you to return to my courtroom in 1 year, not for any legal issues, but to show me your grades and tell me about your family's progress. Do you promise me that? Sofia nods enthusiastically, her fear totally replaced by hope. Yes, Your Honor. We will return to show you we are excellent Americans. You already are excellent Americans, Sofia. You already are. The courtroom breaks into prolonged applause as the Ramirez family hugs their ordeal transformed into a vision of acceptance and opportunity. What occurs right after Sofia's court appearance becomes one of the most wonderful instances of community assistance and American empathy in practice. As the family leaves the courtroom, they are met by several individuals who had observed Sofia's brave defense. Mrs. Chen, an older woman who had been waiting for her own case, stops them and, through Sofia's translation, provides Maria more house cleaning employment. Your daughter's bravery demonstrates what sort of family you are, she states. I wish to assist Dr. Williams, a local children's doctor who was in court for a traffic issue, approaches Carlos and provides him a part-time job at his practice. Anyone who raises a daughter like Sofia merits every chance to prosper. But the most heartfelt reaction comes from Mrs. Johnson, Sofia's teacher, who had learned about the court appearance from other pupils. Sofia, Mrs. Johnson states, when she visits the family that night, I have spoken with the principal and the school advisor. We wish to ensure you receive additional help for your college preparation. Your ambition of becoming a lawyer is not just achievable, it is certain. She gives Sofia a pile of books regarding law, citizenship, and American history. These will assist you in learning how to help other families like your own. Within a week, Sofia's story circulates throughout Providence. Local news speaks with the family, with Sofia confidently interpreting for her parents and describing their journey with the same composure she displayed in court. My parents are heroes, Sofia informs the journalist. They rescued me and Miguel by bringing us to America. Now I wish to help other families feel secure. Too, The interview is broadcast on the evening news, and the community reaction is immense. The Ramirez family gets offers of aid, support, and companionship from scores of local families. Mr. Peterson, their immigration lawyer, contacts with amazing news. Sofia's presence in Judge Caprio's court, along with his personal endorsement, as 1 year later, precisely as pledged, Sofia comes back to Judge Caprio's court. However, this time, she isn't holding a file of legal papers. She's holding grade reports, diplomas, and pictures that narrate the tale of a family's effective assimilation into American living. Sofia, now 11 and clearly more self-assured, walks to the bench with her parents, who no longer linger in terror, but stand confidently next to their amazing child. "Good morning, Your Honor," Sofia states with a cheerful grin. "I kept my word to return and demonstrate to you how we are doing." Judge Caprio smiles as he observes the significant shift in the family's self-assurance and behavior. "Sofia, look at you. You appear like you have grown a foot taller. How has your year been, Your Honor?" "It has been the finest year of our lives. My parents got their asylum approval 3 months back, and now we are officially secure in America." She gives Judge Caprio her grade report. Perfect grades again, but now with extra accomplishments. "I was chosen for student council, and I established a club named New Americans, where immigrant kids support one another with schoolwork and instruct other pupils about our traditions." Carlos, now self-assured enough to talk straight to Judge Caprio in cautious English, moves ahead. "Your Honor, I wish to thank you. When Sofia arrived here 1 year ago, we were scared. Now we feel American." Maria contributes also in English. "Sofia instructs us English each night after school work. She states we must learn so we can assist other families who were scared like we were." Sofia takes out a diploma from her folder. "Your Honor, I got the scholarship you suggested before. I'm signed up for a summer course at Brown University for talented pupils interested in law and public service." Judge Caprio inspects the diploma with clear pride. "Sofia, this is a course for high school pupils. You are only 11. The course has stated my composition about assisting immigrant families was so excellent, they created an exception. I wrote about meeting you and discovering that judges can assist." Judge Caprio gazes at the picture and at the family standing before him with self-respect and hope instead of terror and despair. "Sofia, do you recall what you stated you wished to be when you grew up?" "A lawyer, Your Honor, to assist families like mine." "Well, I have something to inform you. The Providence Bar Association has established a new scholarship specifically for pupils from immigrant families who wish to follow law. They are naming it the Sofia Ramirez Future Advocate Scholarship." Sofia's eyes open wide in astonishment. "They named it for me. They named it for you because you demonstrated to everybody that bravery is not about not being scared. It is about performing what is correct, even when you are scared." Judge Caprio, he speaks to the court, filled with individuals who learned Sofia was coming back. Everyone, a decade ago, a young girl showed everyone what it truly signifies to be an American. It is not merely about birthright, but about living the principles that define this nation's greatness: bravery, devotion to family, faithfulness, diligence, and the aspiration for an improved tomorrow. He turns again to Sofia. You fulfilled every commitment you gave in this court, and now the nation gets to honor the commitment it gave to your relatives. That diligence, bravery, and aspirations can be realized in this country. The narrative of Sofia Ramirez reached well past her city, turning into an emblem of potential when bravery encounters empathy, when anxiety is exchanged for optimism, and when societies welcome relatives looking for security and a chance. 2 years following her court date, Sofia was asked to present at the National Immigration Law Conference, where she spoke to an audience packed with lawyers, jurists, and supporters with the identical composure she demonstrated in Judge Caprio's court. When I was 10, Sofia informed the gathering, I discovered that having courage does not imply feeling no fear. It means safeguarding those you care for, even when you feel afraid. Her address earned a prolonged applause, and 3 law colleges extended her assured entry after finishing secondary school. Judge Caprio, present in the crowd that day, later remarked, Sofia did not only protect her relatives that day in my court, she protected the notion that this country's power originates from families such as hers, individuals who has it all for their kids tomorrow. The Sofia Ramirez Future Advocate Scholarship has since assisted 12 additional immigrant youths follow legal studies. Every awardee pledges to offer free immigration aid for families requiring assistance. Maria and Carlos Ramirez currently operate their own small eatery where they hire other immigrant families and assist them in understanding American procedures. Sofia assists there on weekends, still interpreting and supporting for families who echo her own path. Now 13 and in secondary school, Sofia works at Mr. Peterson's legal practice during summer holidays, aiding families get ready for immigration proceedings with the identical detailed readiness she applied to her own family's situation. Every family I assist, Sofia states, I recall being that frightened 10-year-old. I wish for them to understand that America has space for families who labor diligently and have large aspirations. And colleagues, Sofia's tale shows us that bravery can appear in the tiniest forms, that families searching for security and opportunity are the identical families that constructed America, and that occasionally a youngster's courage can instruct grown-ups what it genuinely signifies to be kind. We all are aware of kids who astonish us with their insight and fortitude.